Welcome back, YouTube. Pull day and a full day of eating on training day is about to go down. Without further ado, I'm going to show you meal one. It's already been a very busy morning on this beautiful Sunday. 3 clients competing today, and I had 3 clients compete yesterday. So it has been a very intense weekend. If you haven't seen the previous log, give it a watch. That was the rest day and a full day of eating on rest day, covering some of the show as well, and covering a little bit on peaking and how I manage the guys that need to make a weight cap. But I will do more of an in-depth video on the channel covering that in detail. Now, meal number 1 on training day. Same, but different. Pretty much exactly the same as it has been, with just a tiny bit of kimchi added. But again, that's negligible calories. You will see more of an increase across later meals in the day. Generally, and on a post-workout, on a pre-bed meal, which is where I need it the most. So carbohydrates have been raised by 50 grams on training day, which is ideal for now. Body weight's at 246. So 4 pounds up from stage weight, but very, very lean, which is great. That's exactly where I need to be at this point in the off season, only week 5 into the off season. Slowly getting closer back up to that 250 mark, and my goal is to get there with glutes completely in. So let's show you meal number 1, which is 3 whole eggs, 100 grams of rice, 125 venison, 100 grams of blueberries, 125 grams of blueberries. But I have taken away a little bit of blueberries and put in my pre-workout meal, and taken away a bit of pineapple from a pre-workout meal to go with this meal. But still, macros are the same and meal structure is still the same. It's 7:30 now, and that is my usual time for meal number 1. So I need to tuck in, but I will show you the meal and then we'll get you along the way for the day in the life. And so this is how meal number 1 is looking at the moment. Beautiful scenes, guys. Look at this. And let me just show you how perfectly cooked this venison is. And all I have to do is just put it in the air fryer, 8 minutes, and it's a perfectly medium rare piece, which is ideal. Now, we do have 10 grams of Flavor Gang sauce on there, and we're going to get tucked in. Beautiful. And the seasoning is Italian seasoning from Dash. No added salt, no added additives, which is perfect. Beautiful scenes. Okay, meal number 1 nailed down. Now I'm making Meg's breakfast. I've just done 5 minutes on a treadmill. And what I normally do is I will blend Meg's pancakes up. If you haven't seen the recipe, you need to actually watch yesterday's vlog, as I do break down exactly how I make the pancakes. Super, super easy. Literally put the ingredients in. Meg has sweet potato, banana, 2 whole eggs, 150 egg white, a little bit of apple inside. Blend it, put it in the pan. Put the pan on medium to high heat. Put the pancakes on and then lower it down to probably low to medium and just let it cook. If you put it in low, you can actually leave it for like 5-6 minutes. And then it cooks super, super nicely without making it dry. And then don't flip the pancakes, but just fold them to keep them moist. I like that word, moist. Ugh. Ugh. Anyway, time for me to make my tea. If you haven't seen the tea, I use peppermint and decaf Ceylon tea. So I normally have a couple of scoops of this, and then I do have Birdhouse Company tea from Sheffield, but today I'm actually going to use some peppermint from Tea Pigs and a little bit of ginger. So I do like to have a tea every single morning, not just for the health benefits, but it's certainly enjoyable, as I do like a brew, and it definitely helps having something hot when your appetite is still rampant, as I am only 5 weeks post-show and I'm arguably probably hungrier than I was entire prep, which is completely fine, but something we'll have to deal with. Anyway, I'll show you the setup here. I'm going to put my water on, and then we'll get in the office and I'll get stuck into some more updates for y'all. And we'll see how the day goes. Let's get it, guys and girls.
Practice we
Here we go.
do our proven
Look at this. And then here's my tea. 12 grams total for a litre of water. And this is the seasoning that is my all-time favourite. King of seasonings. My salt for the day. And my pancakes for the evening are here. All set. We've got my Omega Pharma Pro, which I take in with every single meal. And then these are my little pill pots that I normally put it in here. So I've got that yet to fill up, but first I'm going to show you how to fold these pancakes. You need a spatula, and all we do then is just simply get in. Once they're cooked, get the spatula underneath, and that's how it should look. Look at that. Perfection. This one isn't quite ready just yet. Oh, it is. There we go. And these are almost cooked. Should be soft inside and cooked throughout.
At least I think I heard this was Andrew Huberman. I was playing this in German a couple of days ago. There was a study. There's a couple of interesting
We cannot have a full day of eating without intra-workout. So 5 grams of glutamine, 40 grams of performance fuel, 5 grams of creatine in my intra-workout, 23 grams of pumpage, 10 grams of creatine in my pre-workout, pre-workout, and then post-workout is 20 grams of EPS max, 3 grams of creatine, and magnesium, 2 caps. I am definitely taking a high amount of magnesium, and it's definitely allowing for better recovery, which is epic, and even much better sleep. So I highly recommend magnesium if you're not taking it. So this is my current pre, intra, and post-workout stack. I always start my intra-workout as I start warming up, and I aim to finish it by second to last exercise. And generally, once I finish training, I am empty and ready to eat, especially the quality of the carbs that we get from Train by JP. Digestibility is just incredible. So I have no issues with it at all. Even when I take them up to like 80, 100 grams of carbohydrates in my intra, it still sits perfectly, which is great. Now, my pre-workout, I actually have 15 minutes after my pre-workout meal. So generally my pumpage goes in about 45 to an hour before I train. And I think that's the best way of taking it. Another thing that's very much often overlooked, and that is the amount of water you have to take in with your actual pre. It's a pump product, right? In order for you to get a pump, you need to be hydrated. Therefore, you need to take in an adequate amount of water in it. Creatine, great for your brain health, but I do notice a big energy increase when taking creatine at 10 grams. So I generally have 10 grams first thing in the morning fasted, 10 grams pre, 5 grams in my intra, 5 grams post. That is my 30 total for the day, which is essential. Actually, I have 3 grams of my coffee as well, which I do take in around 11 o'clock. So 2 hours before I train. And I'll tell you a little bit about that later on. Okay, that's everyone ready to rock and roll, for now at least anyway. On show day, I will always have my guys and girls update me with just a few poses. Again, a few poses only to not drive excessive fatigue through posing for assessment. So I have my athletes pretty much checking daily from 3, 4, some cases 5, 6 weeks out. But mostly from 2 weeks out, there will be multiple check-ins across the day and daily check-ins. On show day and day before, there will be numerous updates across the day. But one thing I want to mention today is posing. I think a lot of people over-pose in peak week. That is your time to actually back off from the posing. And that is your time to be able to actually scale back the frequency and intensity of the posing. So when you do these assessments, it's only logical to have your client only hit a couple of pauses for assessment's sake, nothing hard, because posing will not drive glycogen inside the muscle. Posing, if it's done excessively, will actually deplete the glycogen from the muscle, because guess what, guys? You are using the muscle. You do not fill up the muscle by using it. You deplete the muscle by using it, the same thing that happens when you train. So that's just something I wanted to kind of clear up, because there's still a lot of people under the impression that you somehow drive glycogen inside the muscle by doing posing. That's just like saying you drive glycogen inside the muscle through training. That's just not the case. You might drive some inflammation and you might get a pump temporarily, but other than that, it's just, yeah, it's not going to do anything. Anyway, back onto the update for me and where I am at this moment in time. Currently, I am sitting at 246.4 pounds. Week 5 of the off season. So this is week number 1 of my push-up phase that has begun. Blood work is back from eval and health markers are looking excellent. So I am super happy. I have 26 weeks planned of this push-up phase. And so far, I am pretty much 5 pounds up from a stage weight. The goal, 4 or 5 pounds, which is great because my condition's still very, very, very comparable to where I was at on stage. I could literally cut my water a little bit, have a week in a deficit, and I could probably step on stage again if I wanted to. But that's not the goal now. The goal is to get back to business and get back to growth. I feel great. Sleep quality is amazing. Sleep duration is still work in progress, still waking up super early, but I think that is more so a low estrogen issue. So that will be solved through simply having a slightly higher bump in my testosterone. And that is generally the way to go about it. And I am very in tune with my body. I know how it feels when my estrogen is low or high. So I generally do not need, I generally don't need blood work to tell me that. I know myself how that generally feels. So I will always, always take appropriate action to mitigate this because you need to have your estrogen in a good, healthy place. Low estrogen, your skin will be dry, you will be waking up early, your sleep quality won't be as great, and you are reducing your potential for growth. So if you are guys using aromatase inhibitors excessively in your off-season phases or utilizing low testosterone doses with crazy high amounts of either EQ or DHT, you may be actually limiting your growth potential. So that is something to consider moving forwards, guys. Now, the plan of action for me is to slowly keep driving up the training performance. The rate of gain that I'm looking for is around £1 a week. That's my ideal rate of gain over these next 26 weeks. Maybe a little bit more. I think initially that body weight will probably come on a little bit quicker over the next couple of weeks. So I'm anticipating to land over the next 26 weeks, probably at around £280. So if I was to break that down, that's 30 divided by 26, and that will be like £1.1 per week, which is the rate of gain I'm looking for. That's going to land me around 280, which is needed before I get this off-season wrapped up. In better shape than before. I actually hit 280 last time, and it wasn't the best. Now, training day calories, as of now, 4,537 calories, 342 grams of protein, 670 carbs, and then 55 grams of fat. And the training day food is here. Meal 1, you have already seen. Meal 2, chicken, rice, pineapple, 200 grams of chicken, 100 grams of rice, 100 pineapple. Pre-workout meal, 40 grams of whey isolate, 140 gram of rice, 100 pineapple, 20 raisins. Intra-workout, we've got 20 MPS max, which I have post-workout, and then 40 grams performance fuel intra, and I do have 200 mils of coconut water inside it, more so for electrolyte balance and potassium, and I do like coconut water. Post-workout is 250 grams of cod, 150 raw weight rice, 125 blueberries, and then we have wild salmon, 100 grams, 150 prawn, 70 rice, 50 pineapple for meal 5, and the last meal is my pancakes, which is 50 grams of protein. 20 grams of protein out of that goes inside my pancake. Then we've got 200 grams of sweet potato, 70 grams of cream of rice, sticky toffee pudding for today, 25 almond butter, 50 grams of egg whites, 150 mixed berries, and 75 grams of pumpkin. And generally, this is the pre-bed meal that I will always go with, for now at least. And this always sits incredibly well. And it certainly is one of my favorite meals of all time. And I very much look forward to it. And Meg certainly is enjoying the pancakes at the moment as well. So that's always a win, right? Now, what we do have in play here is a mixture of a variety of food, right? Good quality carbohydrates, fats, And I actually missed, we've got 10 caps of omega, which is 90 calories and 10 grams of fats added on top of the food. And I always actually include that into my diet. Now, variety is the key. Each meal offers different micronutrients, different fiber intakes as well. So it's super important that you do keep that in mind and keep things varied, because it definitely gives you an opportunity, guys, to, for sure, have yourself in a position where everything will definitely respond way, way better to what you have ahead when it comes to nutrition, digestion, and in general, just feeling epic. So definitely be mindful of that, and definitely something to take into consideration when it comes to managing nutrition and managing your diet in general, guys. Let me know if you have any questions when it comes to the diet setup, and I'm always happy to help in any way I can. And guys, just be mindful, do not undervalue your actual micronutrient intake coming from foods. Plays a huge role, in my opinion. So just something that you need to consider moving forwards to optimize your gains and make the most of them. Here we go. Beautiful, beautiful cup of tea. There we go. Super handy way to actually get the water intake in as well. All the polyphenols, all the health benefits. Okay, meal number 2 is about to go down. We've got 200 grams of chicken, 100 grams of rice, all the veg, all the pineapple. And then we've got my Omega Pharma Pro, Ensure, and Digest Pharma. And then we've got some more magnesium in here, mixed with a little bit of water and Trademark GP hydration. Post-workout meal is here. All it needs is just a little bit of dash, tiny bit of salt, and some sauce. And that will be set. And yes, I do weigh out my sauces as well. Although they are like negligible calories, I still like to control the amount I actually have. So I do highly recommend it. And if you want a good alternative for soy sauce as well, this is my go-to. It's absolutely awesome and very, very decent when it comes to calories as well. Shopping's come. Meg is on it. All the bread. Are you all off for bread? Right, meal 2. This is how it's looking once it's all been cooked up in the pan. Divine meal. Oh, post meal 2, stroll. I have a lane, which is exactly a 6-minute walk if I walk at fast pace, which definitely allows me to get enough steps in without overdoing it for the day, which is perfect. Now, I have been limiting my treadmill walking as I have battered myself doing it in prep. So no more of that. I'm just making sure I hit my step targets for the day. Cardio will be introduced if I need it for now. However, definitely not required, as I get enough activity through just my normal steps, and fitness levels are pretty sweet for now anyway. So no real need to do that just yet. So get us a little stroll and then back in the office for a little while. Make sure clients are on point for the show day, and then on to the pre-workout meal. Many things in life. Podcast on with one of my favourites, Scott Stevenson. Coffee and peaking. Beautiful. Right, I'm going to enjoy this now. This is my caffeine hit at, as you can see, that 8 minutes past 11. And generally, I will train around 1 o'clock. So my caffeine intake is consumed well early in the day. 1 second sleep. 2, caffeine will inhibit your pump. It's a vasoconstrictor, not a vasodilator. Now, pump doesn't really lead to muscle growth, but it's nice to get a good connection, a good pump. I think it allows for better mind-to-muscle connection, which leads to more mechanical tension on the muscle that you're trying to train. Write it down. And then getting my cook on. We've got pancakes ready for pre-bed meal. The rest is here, post-workout meal. Meg's pre-workout meal. And then my whey paste, which is triple chocolate Whey ISO Pro. My cream of rice is currently in the freezer, just cooling off. So we've got it here. Boom. So that's pretty much all cooled off. So that shall be ready to go. A little bit of cinnamon. And then the whey paste will go on top. But first, I need to take care of these bad boys. Day ritual. We've got cream of rice, pre-workout meal number 3, 11:45, and we've got Ian training back. Here we go. Right, landed at the gym, and we've got our essentials, which is hard body lifting straps. I've actually got a new pair of grey ones. Do you need any? Or have you got some? Do you need a new pair? Yeah? What colour? Maybe green? Do you want these? These are like camo.
Yeah, but obviously
Yeah. Right. Grey ones it is for today. Lovely pair with a little bag. Called Kuba, if you want yours. I much prefer these for my actual pull work because these are a lot thinner. I always find thicker ones don't really go well when it comes to...
only like heavy.
Yeah, the thick ones are great for like heavy pulls. Whereas for pull work, you want something that's a lot thinner. You don't really want anything thick, as thick lifting straps are actually going to cause some issues when it comes to your grip, in my opinion. So it's not really what you want, and you don't really want your forearms pumping up. So if you want to see how to actually wear them and use them, fold them over like this and make sure that this is coming across this. I prefer to wrap up with this so that it then sticks and I can actually hold on to the actual rubber bit. I find my grip's always way better that way. So game time. Time to train pull. Today's session is going to be single arm. I would say it's a frontal plate pull down, followed by a single arm cable row, and then a single arm sagittal plane. So basically just different planes of motion. First pull down is more coming this way, second row coming this way, then pull down and then upper back row, and then finish off on traps. My sessions have been really efficient now because I've got all my numbers set. So they're lasting like probably an hour and a half, which is very new. So normally my sessions are like up to 2 hours. My leg lifts are around 2 hours, but it's the volume I think is perfect at the moment. It's allowing me to progress a lot. And I think the main, most important objective is always pushing progressive overload as opposed to just training volume. So let's get it. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, right. Exercise number 1. This is a frontal plane pull down. So essentially, we will turn to this way and pull from this angle. It's not exactly a pure frontal plane, but the way Cass actually demonstrated this for me makes a massive difference when it comes to targeting like the upper to mid lat. Anyway, it feels amazing, so I'm going to run with it. Patrick, will you pull me down, please, bro? Yeah. Let's go. Right. The goal here is creating as much stretch through the lat as possible. So, yep.
Up.
Okay.
Got it?
Bye-bye.
Let's go. Come on. Yeah. 1. Perfect. 2. Come on, brother. Work. 3. Let's go. 4. Yeah. Come on. 3 more. 3 more. 5. Yeah. And grind. Now the grind starts. 6. And 1 more, brother. Come on. Last one is yours. Last one is yours. Yeah.
1 more.
1 more. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I got it.
Okay. Perfect.
Boom.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay.
That's how we work.
Right. Here we go. 8 reps to match. That was a solid set. So we get this momentum going. Here we go. Yep, perfect. Now, the reason why sessions are also shorter is because now we are familiar with exercise selection and the numbers we need to be hitting. We're much more efficient with our time. So we don't need as many warm-up sets to get the job done. We simply get in and we get work. We simply get in and we get to work. Because once that first exercise is done, especially on pull days, you don't really need extra warm-up sets. It's not really necessary. Perfect.
Let's go.
Let's get it. As I said, no warm-up sets needed here. We've got our exercise setup nailed, execution, and the numbers that we need to hit. So successful work ahead. No wasting reps, no wasting time. Just quality work. Let's get it. Patrick's 2 weeks out from the Poland Pro and he's looking epic. So great to have him here for the camp. As always, sharing the energy and getting after it. Game time. Right, epic set, well done. Game time. Now all we do for left arm is just move the bench across a little bit and we're set. Here we fucking go. When performing any row, you want to be moving from a high to a low plane of motion. So ideally the cable needs to be set just above your shoulder height. Spacing, stability, all on point. Here we go. Beautiful set. We'll go again. Back on the prime pull down, guys. So, game time. Time to get our sagittal plane pull down. Essentially, guys, lower lat focus now. So we're gonna sit straight on. Patrick's gonna pull me in because this is my gammy arm. And now we get our regular pull down work done. Yep, thank you, sir. Rib cage packed, core braced, here we fucking go. Yeah. Yep. Okay, guys. That was a perfect final rep. If I attempted another rep here, it would be a 50-50 rep. This would then mean no progression in my next session and potentially even carrying fatigue into my push day tomorrow. So there's a big difference between actual failure and the hitting reps past failure. We always want to aim for clean failure and leave it there. You want to create momentum and you want to take the reps that are always there, not reps past failure. Stay tight. Right down. It's all good, bro. Okay, guys and girls, left arm about to go down. Treat each set as a separate set. Patrick does one arm, then I do my second arm. Then I take a little breather and I go when I know I can perform at my all-out capacity. Here we fucking go.
Perfect work. Yes. Here we go.
One more. One more. Yeah. Oh, beautiful. There we go. Right. Here we go. Upper back work now. Now the lat portion of the work is done. 2 working sets here, followed by 2 sets of traps. Here we go. Right. Game time. Let's get it, let's get it, let's get it. The goal here is maximum protraction and retraction. So let's get to business.
Okay, that's it.
Yep. Sir. Game time. Right guys, exercise number 5 now, going down. And this is going to bring a small shrug. Your traps are not just on top of your neck. Your traps run all the way to your knee, upper back. So it only makes sense to train them in disciplined motion where you get full retraction and some elevation of the scapula, training your mid and upper trap. So if you want a big juicy upper back, this is your close exercise. 2 working sets here. Just one steady, I'll say let go, yeah? And then just stay with, handle back in. Fucking go. Three, two, one, up. Mother. One more set, here we go. Thank you, sir. Here we go, one of the best rear delt fly variations of all time. Just to make sure that it lines up with the rear delt fibers. Fibers on the rear delt, I should say. Right. Big time. I know this exercise looks funky, but I promise you guys, this movement tremendous session wrapped up. Just about to have my MPS Max and then post-workout meal. Very happy with today's training performance. All lifts are up and the session felt absolutely superb. So happy. Now, beautiful. Just a reminder, guys, 20 grams MPS Max, 3 grams of creatine, and 2 caps of Dream Sleep actually added in there. And then I have my pot with 100 grams of blueberries. Only 100 grams because the 25 grams of blueberries that was meant to be in there is actually in my last meal as additional apple into my pancake mix, which just tops it off perfectly. And then we've got my, as you can see, there we go. Let's get this camera set on the food. There we go, beautiful. We've got my cod, we've got my rice, 200 grams of rice, 250 grams of cod, 150 grams of rice. We're not quite at the big boy portions just yet, but we'll be soon. For now, we let this keep rolling. Feeling good. Felt powerful today, safer in the arm, no issues, no pain. So another successful session done. Extremely grateful to be able to do what I do, healthy, and be able to still progress, which is the key. I'm going to eat this in peace and quiet now. Let's do a bit of a taste test for you to see what cod and rice is like. Beautiful. I will see you guys back at home, probably in my sauna, or on the way home on the drive. I might fill you in on anything I've got interesting to say if something comes up. As of late, I have been doing more regular sauna work, and I definitely feel like it's having a positive impact on my recovery and my sleep. And got myself a sauna hat. Thank you to Joe for a great suggestion. And generally, the time that I would spend replying to clients just sitting around the sofa, I just get in the sauna now, and I get it done here. So, kill two birds with one stone. 1, get the guys and girls replied to. 2, get my minutes in the sauna. So, it's a win-win. If you are not using a sauna, I highly suggest you probably should, especially if you are on the dark side / the assistance. If you know what I mean. You know. Meal number 5. I'm all showered up. I don't smell anymore. Hopefully not, anyway. Meal number 5. 100 grams of wild salmon, 70 grams of rice, 200 grams of prawns, 30 grams of kimchi, and 150 veg. That is how it presents, cooked by Meg. I do have 5 grams of teriyaki Rebecca sauce. If anyone can actually send me some, please do, because I can't get it in the UK. And then 7 grams of Flavor Gang sweet pappy, which actually watered down a little bit, so the calcium sauce here pretty much non-existent. But I still weigh it because it does make a difference now. A little bit of finishing touches with pepper. Which season did you put this? Oh, amazing. So Meg's put a little bit of lemon and pepper, which is actually really nice. Gives it a good tang, especially on the prawns and the salmon. This is my peppers that I will put into the air fryer for later on.
Not yet.
This is Meg's
I'm just making
potatoes. They're not quite ready. She's going to have prawns, potato, and I'm pretty sure you've got a fat sauce for this. No? Oh, you've got more fats than last meal. I'm going to show you the preparation later on for what I actually get ready for the day after. For the next day, just to make the day a little bit more efficient. But that's later. I'm going to eat this now. Take a look. As I was saying, I'm going to eat this, watch a little bit of YouTube, get back to some more clients.
Walk up the lane, you said.
Walk up the lane, get back to some clients, and then hopefully an early night. It's 5:10, so the timing is actually pretty perfect because I am still waking up at like 10 to 4 this morning, so I need to be in bed tonight well before 8 so I can actually get a good night's sleep. But I genuinely do believe that my sleep quality is 10 times better when I go to bed early. So, and Meg, thankfully, enjoys going to bed early as well. She just sleeps for 10 hours, which is giving her plenty of beauty sleep, but that's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. It means she can recover for all the leg that she has, which is pretty much every other day. Enjoy.
He says, he's like, hey man, I just want to tell you, like, I went a little over the top on the video, and I look back, and I'm like, oh man, I did too much, this and that. Nick's like, yeah, you think? Like, he's like, talking about the time in Nick's life after he made that video, like, that was a bad time in his life. And Nick straight up says,
and Nick is from Jersey. It's like you gotta keep the same energy.
it was crazy. It's all